Okay, so I've got a secret. And this secret that I know, more than half of people who call themselves video marketers are actually missing, or they don't understand, or they don't see. But after today, after I reveal this secret to you, you're going to be able to utilize what you will now know to get a huge upper hand on most video marketers. Hey there, I'm Derek Allen, and today I've got something to share with you that will hopefully make you think, that will hopefully help open your eyes and understand how you can get more engagement with your videos outside of just the standard platforms, right? There's some statistics here that are really going to help you understand what route you need to be taking in 2015 with your video. See, more and more people are on the go these days. Not everyone is glued to their computer screens anymore because they don't have to be. The mobile devices that they're walking around in their pockets or on their hips or on their faces or sitting in their laps or whatever is really changing the game. And a lot of people aren't really understanding that. See, a lot of people still think that, well, if I create a video, it's going to be seen. And that's not necessarily the case these days. Video is hot, video is blowing up and exploding, and every day more and more people are jumping into the video marketing game. And, you know, it's just a changing atmosphere that, just like everything else online, we have to adapt. And if we don't adapt, then we get left behind, and then we end up having to go get a job at McDonald's, right? So that's just kind of the point. So in today's video, I promise not to take up too much of your time. It's just going to be more of a show you what you need to be doing type of video. And if you want the extra hand holding, you know, we can make that happen as well. So let's get right into this. So as I mentioned before, mobile devices, right? That's changing the game. See, but the thing about it, mobile device, or if somebody wants to watch a video on their cell phone or the computer or wherever they're at, they need to be prepared, right? That's thing one that most people are missing. They have to be prepared. Gone are the days where people just kind of sit down and watch a video because it's so new, or because not everyone's doing it, because everyone's doing video. So it's something to be kind of expected by consumers or by people browsing the internet, that, you know, they're going to watch a video. If we look at this statistic right here provided by YouTube itself, it says right here that every day people watch hundreds of millions of hours on YouTube and generate billions of views. That's not saying every month people are watching hundreds of millions of hours. Every day. That's every single day. People are getting on YouTube. They're watching videos, hundreds of millions of hours. Okay? That's insane. Okay? But I mean, it's not really once you compare it to YouTube has 1 billion users. Now, that's not 1 billion active users. They haven't specified that, but 1 billion users. But their statistics are showing that hundreds of millions of hours are, oh my gosh, hundreds of millions of hours of video are watched on YouTube. Generates billions of views. Now, ask yourself real quick, are you tapping into that market? Are you the person that's getting a piece of that pie? Or are you someone who's still struggling? You know, only you can answer that question, but I want to help you today with a solution that I think is really awesome. And nothing is for sale in this video. This is pure content. So here's the deal. We mentioned the mobile thing. We mentioned people being glued to their computers, and those days are gone, right? And we also kind of touched on how people have to be prepared. Now, and we also said, you know, you can't just throw out a video and expect someone to watch it. But here's the facts, right? People have to absolutely be prepared to watch video these days. You know, the people are on the go. They've got these mobile devices in their pocket. They're mobile now. They're not just glued to their computers. So that means a couple things. That means they need to be prepared. They need to have their cell phone, you know, headphones for their cell phones. They've got to be, you know, in an environment where warrants for video. They have to be riding on a, you know, as a passenger in a car, a bus, train, subway, whatever the case is. They can't be driving, right? There's a whole different thing for driving, or for people on the go that can't dedicate their eyeballs to a screen. And most of the time you're going to see people, you know, on that particular thing, you know, in the gym or whatever, you know, running on the treadmill, their stationary bike, just kind of watching a video, right? You're not going to see somebody walking down Fifth Avenue in New York catching up on the latest episode of Mad Men, or much less watching your video. So we have to take these things in consideration. The solution here is to get people where they are. You know, if they're driving in their car, we need to be accessible for people who are driving in their car. If we look right here, let's see, where's it at? If we look right here, so we already talked about YouTube gets hundreds of millions of hours on YouTube and generates billions of views. Now here's another staggering fact, something to make you think. Half, not 3/4, you know, or whatever, not 1/3, but half of YouTube views are on mobile devices. That means that people are using their phones to watch whatever videos they're watching on YouTube. That's a staggering number if you really, really think about that. Okay? But the thing about this is, you know, are people really watching, or are they just listening? That's another big thing you have to consider. Now, why is that important to this video? Well, you know, we could go several different ways with this, but this is why it's important. This is kind of the whole reason I'm making this video, is because people are on the move. But even though half of these mobile devices are, or half of the views are watched on mobile devices, are they laying in bed at night? You know, is that when they're watching it? Are they just sitting on their couch? Is that when they're watching it? Are they doing the things that we talked about, like being at the gym? Are they riding on, you know, as a passenger in some sort of vehicle? Those are the things we have to consider. If, you know, there were more statistics and, like, you know, things where people are watching it, we could get more specific. But I can tell you based on my testing, and this is, you know, from my results alone, you know, is the fact that, you know, more people often than not are listening to your video rather than watching. So this is going to make those, and I can predict this big shift for 2015 and beyond, that those cute little videos that you see are like text-based slides with like music playing over, no voiceover, no reason for engagement. All that's going to become obsolete. And if you're one of those people that are doing those kinds of videos, I want to ask you politely right now to please stop. Because if you're sitting there doing those types of videos and you're wondering, well, why am I not making any money? Well, that's the reason why you're not making any money, because the videos are boring and they have no audible reason for people to really listen to these things, right? Or even watch them. They're just boring. And all the software out there that makes these text-to-music based slides are going to become obsolete as well. So if you have any of that stuff, you know, don't use it anymore. And don't buy any software that makes these kinds of videos, because they're not going to work. And that's based on my testing. That's based on some of my buddies' testing, you know, and I can only predict, you know, what's ahead for me in my business, right? But the whole deal is, if it's not working for me and I'm in the trenches every day, then there must be this shifting trend that's going on that are, you know, pretty much it's going to spread out worldwide, right? And I'm not saying I'm a pioneer or a leader or anything like that, but I certainly do keep up with this type of stuff. But the big question, the whole reason of today's video, and what's probably on your mind right now is, well, how do I reach these people, right? If half of YouTube views are on mobile devices and most people aren't really watching the video, they're more listening to the video, what do I do? Right? And the only answer I've got for you is make sure your video script is on point, right? And reach people where they are. So before you even sit down to go into create a video or video production or however you do your video, sit down and write your script, because several different things are going to happen when you have a good script. One, you know, if you're doing a voiceover or you're doing a talking head video and you're on camera, whatever it is, if you have a good solid script and something to tell people that's going to interest them, that's going to help make them understand maybe that they have a problem and that you have the solution, and you're talking with people and you're helping them understand these things, you're going to get a much better engagement rate, much better click-throughs on your links, much better, much more views, much more shares, and hopefully overall much more money. So that's kind of the thing, right? So consider the fact that the other half of YouTube videos are being viewed on desktops, laptops, people in their home, people sitting in hotel rooms, whatever the case is. You could still keep doing your normal thing like that, and that's fine. But there's one other option that I want to tell you about. Since we discovered that more people are actually listening to our videos rather than watching, we decided to take a different direction, a direction that most people probably don't think about, right? And what we are going to be shifting on is podcast. Now, podcast, when you hear that word, you probably think, well, I don't feel like putting on a daily show or, buying all this expensive equipment. And, well, you don't have to. You don't have to do a daily show. And all it takes is a microphone and, or the normal video that you're going to be doing anyway. Because a lot of people don't know that podcasts with Apple and, any other kind of platform allow you to submit video podcasts, right? So like interviews, and people can watch the video as they're listening to your podcast or whatever, or they can just listen to the podcast. And that's kind of what we're betting on, is people are going to listen to the video podcast that you're putting out. Now you're probably thinking, well, I don't feel like doing interviews. I don't feel like doing, podcast style, audio. And you don't have to do that either. What you can do is you can just keep doing your normal thing, right? So if you're the type of person that makes a video, post it on Wistia, on YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, any one of those other platforms, then you can absolutely take that same video and put it on iTunes and in their podcast directory. It's free, and it's no harder than posting it to YouTube. And the thing about the podcast directory is it's an untapped resource at this point. Like, yes, there are a ton of podcasts, and there are a ton of podcast episodes, and it feels like everyone and their brother has a podcast, but they really don't. This is still sort of an untapped opportunity for anyone. And if you're a video marketer who wants to reach people where they are, if you're a video marketer who wants to get that additional exposure for free with hardly any extra effort, upload your videos to iTunes and make a podcast for your niche. And if you're in several different niches, then guess what? You can have several different podcasts, right? And I'm not talking about, again, I want to clarify this, because whenever you listen to a podcast, if you've ever listened to a podcast before, most of the time it's somebody on there giving tips or interviews or whatever, or whatever kind of content, right? Well, you're kind of doing the same thing with your videos. It doesn't matter, though, if they're promotional. Every single podcast I've ever listened to has some sort of promotion in it or advertisement, right? So it doesn't matter if they're promotional. But what you're going to find, and what we're discovering here in my business at Converted Clicks, is no matter what niche we've entered into, no matter how many videos we submitted, if we made a podcast, right, and we've done this in some obscure niches, like things we didn't think would take, we did get downloads. We did get subscribers. And while some of them didn't like blow us out of the water, it was nice to know that this is working. Now, as far as monetary, gains go and growth in that department, we don't know yet, because we've just kind of started this ourselves. But it is working as far as getting to the people we want to get to. Okay? So this is a huge opportunity for you, and you're probably wondering, well, if I wanted to submit a podcast and all that stuff, well, how do I do all that? If I want to submit my videos that I'm putting on YouTube to promote my business or my product or my affiliate products, guys, it doesn't matter what it is that you're promoting, this will work, right? Well, we'll just go to apple.com/iTunes/podcast/specs specs.html, and it'll tell you exactly how to submit your podcast feed, your video, whatever it is. But if you want a more in-depth thing, Pat Flynn from Smart Passive Income actually created a very, very, very popular sort of tutorial series on how to start a podcast. And in this tutorial series, if you just want to Google Pat Flynn podcast, this should come up right there on Google. He tells you exactly how to do everything, step by step, even shows you. So this is a great, great, great resource. It's been constantly updated since he made it one of his most popular things on Smart Passive Income. But he shows you, recording tips and all that. Obviously, we're going to be using video. He shows you, talks about web and media hosting, which is sort of an important thing when submitting to the podcast directories, setting up a feed, which is again important, submitting your feed to iTunes and other directories, and all that stuff. And he kind of walks you through everything. Once you get the hang of this, it's not hard at all, and it only takes just a few minutes. So if you were going to submit your video to YouTube, you might as well create a podcast channel within iTunes, within Apple. It's a huge marketplace, yes, but there are a ton of people that are searching for podcasts. And if you do things right, and whatever your niche is, you can absolutely get traction within that marketplace. And it's, like I said, it takes no more effort. But you might be wondering, well, if I submit this to Apple iTunes and I create this podcast for my market, my niche, and whatever topic I'm on, well, how do I get traffic? Well, you just do your marketer thing, right? You get traffic that way. When you email your list and say, hey guys, I've just got this new channel on iTunes. If you want to go and enjoy that, you can. And what's really cool is, like, even people with Android devices, there's podcast apps out there that'll actually search and pull feeds from wherever your feed lives. So it's just not only iTunes, right? Like, anyone with any device can actually download your videos. Then what happens, you email your list, say, I've got this new thing. You start to get traction, right? Well, then you start to do little contests. So I'll give you this free product if you, subscribe and review my podcast. Once you start getting more reviews within Apple or whatever it is, then the higher up in the search you'll move. And if you're in a niche that doesn't have many podcasts, it shouldn't take you that long to actually completely dominate with that. We don't know how many people are actually searching in your niche for your thing, but we can only imagine that there are people actually doing it. So this is reaching people where they are, right? So it's not a big deal, and it's something you should definitely be doing, because what will happen then is, look, if somebody is riding in their vehicle, they can't dedicate the time that they need. They're not fully prepared to consume your video. Well, now they can consume your audio. That's why your script should be the most important thing. That's why you should spend a large majority of your time writing a hard-hitting script that follows the exact formula that you need to get people to say, you know what, I think that I could use what this guy is selling, or I think that I could, I want to hear more from this person, or I think that I want to subscribe to their email list, and that's sort of the point. So instead of having a video that's got all this fancy graphics, which that's not bad, that's not a bad thing to do. You want to keep people engaged who are actually watching it. But for the large majority of people who aren't fully prepared but want to consume something, right? They want to consume something. They want to learn more about what they're into. Then submitting your videos to iTunes to create that podcast is a really good idea, because now you're reaching people who are fully prepared. You're reaching people who are on their mobile devices, who are got their headphones in, and they're riding the stationary bike at the gym. You are reaching people who are laying in bed at night consuming a video with their headphones in, so they don't disturb their significant other, their wife or their husband. You're reaching people who are on their desktops. You're reaching people who are just chilling on the couch, on their laptop, and they're watching videos. You're reaching everyone as a whole. People who want to listen, people who want to watch, and that's what you need to be doing. So focus on your script, okay? Please focus on your script. And if you need help with that, then guess what? As you can probably imagine, I've got something coming out that people have just absolutely been raving about. If you haven't heard about it, it's called Video Script Source. And this was the first package of Video Script Source right here. I've gotten so many emails from people telling me how much easier it was for them to write a script that actually gives them confidence to know that it's going to work, to have a proven formula to follow, no matter what it is, to say, whatever video I need for my business, I can create it in a heartbeat without thinking too much, without overthinking, without spending hours upon hours trying to figure out how to write the thing. And I have this proven formula right in front of me, and I know what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it, what needs to be said, what order, to get people to think with their heads and with their hearts. Get people emotionally invested in whatever it is that you're selling. So if you're going to be submitting a video to iTunes, right? You're going to be trying to get people wherever they are. That script has to work. And with these templates, it's going to help you make it work a lot easier with a lot less work. All these templates that I'm using currently in my business, have served me well. I've gotten emails from people talking about how they've made $4,000 in the local market, how it's taken, people 30 minutes to write a video script instead of 3 to 4 hours. So we're cutting down on time with these scripts, and you're making more money. And for whatever video situation occurs, you can just pull one out of your back pocket, write it down, shoot your video, submit it to YouTube, put it on your website, whatever the case is, put it on the iTunes podcast with your video, and you're good to go. But here's the thing. This is the first package. This is what got all the rave reviews. And because it was so successful and because people loved it so much and it just helped people, I decided to make a version 2. Okay, so here's the version 2 of the Video Script Source package. In this package, we got the downsell script, we got the offline video proposal, we got the website welcome script, the storytelling script, the teach and sell script, the affiliate promo script number 2, the talking head script, video sales letter script version 2, 3-day product or service launch, and then we have just the package here that's kind of zipped up. Let's go ahead and move this to trash. Okay, so all in all, we've got 9 more scripts coming out very soon. And if you're going to be submitting videos to iTunes, then you want to give people value, but then at the end give them a call to action or something. And that's kind of specifically what you aim to do, because you want to reach people where they are. You want to reach this new market that you've been missing. You want to get your when you send an email out that contains a video, people are going to have to debate whether they can watch that video now or do they have to wait till later. So people open your email, maybe they're at work, they can't watch your video right now. Maybe they're driving, they can't watch your video right now. They have to say, well, you know what, I'll come back to this later. But guess what happens? Usually later, they don't come back. They don't come back because they forget, because there's so much clutter coming at them constantly. There's so much advertising and marketing hitting people all the time. I forgot how many times somebody's hit with an advertisement or somebody's hit with a marketing message during the day. It's in the thousands, I would bet, between internet, radio, TV, even books these days are filled with advertisements. So people are going to forget about you, unless they are totally in love with you, they're going to forget about you. So hitting people where they are. So the teach and sell script, give people value, teach them something in their market or something they're interested in, and then sell them something. That's something you're going to use quite a bit. Even if you just wanted to post videos to YouTube only, this is still going to be something that's going to build authority with people, see you as an expert, drool every time you come out with something new, and totally hang on to every word. And by using this in combination with a podcast, so you're getting people from all angles, is really something special. So here's the deal. This is going to be coming out pretty soon, within the next day or a couple days or something. I'll let you know. We're going to be offering a significant discount, doing something pretty different here, something I think you're really going to like. But I just want to let you know that this is coming out. And if you want to reach people where they are, if you want to make harder hitting videos, if you want to convert people more often, get people into your funnels, whatever your plans are for your business, these scripts are totally going to help you. And I'm super excited to be able to give you the help that I know you need. So regardless if you don't have a problem writing video scripts, but maybe you use the same formula over and over and over and over, and it's tends to get stale. People know what to expect. Now they just kind of get bored during your videos because you use the same formula. This is going to help you. Even if you do write high converting video scripts right now, this is still going to help you. This is going to be something you can have in your back pocket. You say, well, I need a talking head script. Boom, there it is. You need a teach and sell script because you plan on doing a video for YouTube, submitting it to your podcast. Boom, there it is. No thinking. You know what you need. You know what you got. And this will just help you all around. So listen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. I'll have more details coming out about this new script package and the cool little sale we're going to be doing with it. And if you're interested in it, hang on, watch your email, sit tight. We'll get all of those details to you. But in the meantime, I hope this video opened your eyes, and I hope that this helps you And I hope that you see this new opportunity that's more than half of video marketers are missing. You're not going to find too many video podcasts, for a particular niche. There are some out there that are very good, but this is a big opportunity for you. I hope you realize that. And even though I didn't show you the step-by-steps, I gave you the resources for the step-by-step tutorials. Essentially, just take your YouTube video and put it up as a podcast. Make a podcast, get more traffic, reach people where they are. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Derek Allen. We will talk to you soon.